Well, guys, I'm just doing some cleanup of some of the junk that I picked up, cleaned up. Some of it was dropped, some of it was deadfall on the ground. I got 40 hours on the tractor now, so I wanted to do a quick video. Haven't had anything break. The only thing that's been a little bit touchy sometimes is these Pioneer fittings for third function. Sometimes they can be a little bit squirrely, but not too bad. Someone's running a chainsaw. Huh. Well, she's been working quite well. You saw the video of the tiller working, and tiller worked fantastic. No issues there. Does a really nice job, and I did purposely want to get it smaller. A lot of people go bigger. I wanted to have it easy to fit places, so the tractor is just a smidgen wider than the tiller sits, which is, like I said, what I want. Yeah, she's not too bad. This the vibrations have knocked several sets of bolts out. I might just remove this. It's not like I need it, but yeah, I guess that's the one thing that's been a little bit annoying, is that thing is constantly vibrating off. She's been doing well. Tires are filled. Highly recommend it. It has no problem with, I mean, this isn't even close to the heaviest I've had on here, but just a whole bunch of rotten junk. We'll cut this up and throw it in the bonfire. But this is the L3902. It's a really perfect size for doing chores. The front end seems to be quite strong. I've had no issues loading this thing up. No issues at all. Not at all. Haven't had any trouble with the emission system. Haven't had any trouble with the tires. Four-wheel drive comes in and out just fine. Turning radius is really good. This is a really good tractor. It's a really good size tractor for someone taking care of, 40 to, I mean, you could do a lot more. Sometimes the hydraulics let up a little bit as it sits. Hopefully it doesn't fall down. It'll feel pretty stupid if in the middle of the video it falls down. But, so yeah, we cleaned that up last time, and it looks a whole lot better. I still got to burn some of that, but I'm trying to get, the farmer's going to be spraying here, and the guy who's farming my property is going to be doing spraying for fertilizer, and he's going to be getting ready to plant here soon. So just trying to get some of this stuff out of the way. We're going to bring that up, like I said, cut it up. But the L3902 has been a really fantastic machine. I haven't had any particular scariness with tippage. Compact tractors can be a little squirrely, but I do have the tires filled. I usually use something as a counterweight. I highly recommend that you do. I haven't bought a, and I don't plan on it, like a weight box or anything. I'll just use a piece of equipment that I already bought. There's no reason to buy something more that weighs less than just using a piece of equipment that I already own. So, and I usually keep something on there because I'm, it's already there. May as well use it. But the Grapple has been really nice. I really don't have any complaints. The non-Grand L series, so this would be like the entry-level L, so it's really more of a work. It doesn't have a lot of the frills, which I like. I like the mechanical hydrostat. I don't really love the idea of an electronic hydrostat. It's not that I have a problem with them, and I don't know that they're necessarily bad. It's just that when I drove it, it just didn't feel like I was used to driving a Kubota tractor. So this one drives a lot like what I'm used to, and that's just what I like. It works fine for me. The throttle pedal's in a good position. One of the things that I found out, and I'm really lucky and happy that I got this tractor. I was at a Kubota dealer. Well, I was at a power sports dealer, but they also sell Kubotas. And I was just looking around at other units. This has the loader mounted up here, which I vastly prefer. When it's loaded down here, or when it's set up down here like an LX, it's rather uncomfortable for me. When my leg is coming through here, I don't have enough room to roll it, and I get that I'm bigger than your average guy, but like there's so little room that you'd have to be a stick in order for that to not be uncomfortable. Like you'd have to be really, really lean. I mean, you'd have to be runner's build, hardly any muscle. It just isn't a good design. I don't know why they're forcing that. You have to get up into a Grand L like 60 for having a loader control up here to be outboard enough where it's actually comfortable for me. So having this on here and then having the third function control is quite comfortable for me. I was really disappointed in how bad the B series, the LX series, the BX wasn't too bad. for some reason it was bent a specific way. The other thing that surprised me is the MX with a cab. It just had a really squirrely bend in the loader valve that literally put the bend into your leg. I don't know what was happening with that. It was really unfortunate. Whoops. So what I'm getting at is I'm quite happy with the layout of the entry-level L. It doesn't have an air seat. It definitely has a springy seat, which I think you can turn up. I just haven't really messed with it too much. I'm not really too worried about it. Hopefully here soon going to be getting something that I can use these rear hydros for. We'll get to that. I mean, we'll get to a point of doing that, but I use the third function all the time. Haven't had any problems. The first, this thing had to sit out most of the winter, unfortunately, because of the barn not being done. So, she's fared pretty good for having to be outside. Now she lives inside. I put a scratch somewhere on it. Where did I put a scratch? I think it was the other side on my, on the model name. But it's a size of tractor that's really, really useful. You can do a lot of things. You have a lot of power, a lot of stability. I was picking up a stump. Where is it? Oh, is it not on the side? Oh, maybe it isn't on this side. Maybe it's on the other side. But, it's a small deal. I was picking up a stump with the grapple, and it was hooked to another part of a limb, and it kind of rotated, and boop, is what it is. But it's a good size tractor. It does the job. The front axle is massive. I have not had any scariness with any tippage problems at all. I loaded something. I'll put a picture in here. It was a huge piece it was a giant stamping machine that got delivered to a manufacturing company, and the guy got it out of the or had it delivered because they were just going to throw it away. And he wants to use it for a bridge on his property. He's got a ravine that runs next to his property, and not this neighbor, different neighbor. And he asked me to move it off the trailer for him, so I went there with pallet forks, and this thing is heavy. It made his electric high-low work. I'm assuming, based upon how stalled this tractor was, it's well over 1,500 pounds. It took everything this thing had to just float it up, and I had to play some games because obviously your boom doesn't have as much power as the roll. So in using the roll function, I was able to, leverage it off the trailer. I'll put a picture in this video. But it has been really good. I really like this tractor. I will be using it quite hard. Like I said, it's got 40 hours. And for a residentially owned unit, I'd say it's a pretty quick. I put a lot of use on this tractor. Works great with a box blade. It has no problem pulling a box blade. Has no problem plowing snow with these R4s. Highly recommend those as opposed to turf tires. You get a lot of advantages, and honestly, it doesn't tear up the grass hardly any worse, even though this tractor is heavier and has filled rear tires. So there's a lot of advantages here. It's easy to transport. You could easily tow this with a half-ton truck and a trailer that you could easily, like a 6-lug, a 5,200-pound axle trailer, two 5,200-pound axles. You'd have no problem towing this thing. And frankly, you'd have no problem with a 7K trailer, as long as it wasn't massively big. Like, if you were around 2,000 pounds with a trailer, this thing's probably sitting with an implement in the back and something in the front. You're probably under 4,000 pounds here. So you could easily use a 7K trailer with a setup, and you'll be okay. So you could tow this with a half-ton. You don't even hardly feel it behind my F-250 in the dump trailer or on the equipment trailer. So it's easy for someone to own. It's an entry. It's a price point that a lot of people can do, and I'm not trying to say anyone. You know what I'm trying to say. It's a swallowable price point to get into something that has a lot of performance with 39 crank horsepower. I think it's at 31 or 32 at the PTO, which is a ton. The electronic PTO engagement is super nice and slick. No problems there. It's a really fantastic piece of equipment, and like I said, I'm really thankful to have it. And I highly recommend, if you're looking for if you got 40 to 80 acres, 40 to 80 acres that you're taking care of, and you're going to be moving trees, doing some food plots, doing garden, taking care of a driveway, using pallet forks. Pallet forks are just fantastic. Please get whatever you buy, get skid steer quick attach, or if you gotta get a John Deere and you gotta get a John Deere quick attach, just get a quick attach. It opens up the tractor to do things that you would never be able to do with anything else. Having 4-wheel drive, and having a loader, and being able to hook up to things like the post hole digger on the front is a huge asset. And this thing has no problems running that hydraulic post hole digger. That third function has got tons of hydraulic flow, and I realize on paper this unit doesn't have a crazy amount of accessory hydraulic flow. I think it's like 7. It's not a huge amount, but it is fine. It does the job adequately. I would say if I could ask Kubota to change one thing, and just because my battery's low, I'm going to stop and restart the video. I use my iPhones until like they are not gonna work anymore. This is an iPhone 8. I've had it for 5 years or something, and it still looks brand new. I try to take good care of my stuff. But what am I trying to say here? Oh, that's my train of thought. What in the world was I saying? I'll get back to whatever the heck I was saying. Oh gosh, what in the world was I saying? Someone put in the comments, you were saying this, you dummy. It's a good tractor. It works well. I think it was very well thought out. The size of it is extremely useful. The PTO output at 32 or 31, whatever it is great. Oh, the hydraulic flow. If I could ask Kubota to do anything, it would be, and I think they've started working on this, is the hydrostatic system on this makes a lot of noise. It's just a louder hydrostatic system, and it's been well talked about. Huckabone's Equipment's talked about it. The guys in Pennsylvania have talked about it. The Messick's guys. It just kind of is what it is. It doesn't hurt anything, and I definitely noticed too, this machine likes to be up in RPMs a little bit. Like my dad's B2630, it'll do everything at 1200 RPM that you want to do. This tractor really likes to be 16 to 18, and it really prefers you to be 2000 to 2200, where it sounds like the hydrostatic system is happy. It just isn't. I usually work it around 2000, 2200, and obviously PTO speed is like 26, 28 or something. But this tractor doesn't like tootling around at low RPM. So it looks like it's like 24 to 25 is PTO speed. This tractor just doesn't like being at low RPM and tootling around. So it's just a little bit different. It is what it is. So if I could ask them to do anything, it'd be maybe a little bit more gear ratio and low. I think they used, they have fairly big tires on this, and because it's still a compact tractor, I assume the transmission feels like it's geared very similar to my dad's tractor with smaller tires. So I think that is something to do with it. And the other thing is too, the loader is really good. It's actually really safe. Its limits are well within the tractor, especially when you add a counterweight. The only thing I would say is, I would say the loader was sized more for a inexperienced homeowner, if you want. I think that this tractor could use a professional homeowner makeover if you want. Making a little bit of a joke there. I think the loader could use a little bit more power, but at that point, the loader would overpower the tractor. So the loader is perfectly adequate for the tractor's weight, counterweight, and extra counterweight. If you do any more in the loader, you'd start easily being able to lift up the rear end of the tractor quickly. I kind of would like to have just some more power for breakout force and that kind of thing, but at the same time, like, it does everything you need to do. So it's a small complaint. That would be my only 2 requests of Kubota. Everything else, they've just done a really good job. It's a really fantastic tractor, and I'm really thankful to own it. So yeah, there's 40-hour review for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will get back to work, and you guys have a fantastic day. Good luck for all you turkey hunters out there. If you would like to, I'd appreciate it. Like, subscribe, that kind of thing. Makes a huge difference. We're at over 300, and I truly appreciate that from everyone. So have a great day. Have an awesome spring. I hope you guys get your food plots in, get ready to hunt, all that good stuff. Good luck, everyone. See ya.